Hey, Patrick here. Welcome to another episode of Record Rooms. This is a show where I interview record collectors in their record rooms. Today, I have the pleasure of chatting with my good friend and bandmate, Josh Nickel. Josh and I play in Chain Whip together. We've traveled the world together. We've fought elbow to elbow over new arrivals bins in countless record stores. Josh also plays in Bootlicker and a newer band called Suburban Pagans. And of course, he runs a record label and record store called Neon Taste Records in Calgary, Alberta. Josh is truly one of the deepest wells of knowledge of punk music in general, really, that I've ever come across in my life. He spent literally decades chasing down rare punk records, and if he doesn't have it, he probably knows about it, and it's probably on his want list. And not just punk either. Josh is really deep in on several sort of metal subgenres. He's into experimental. As you'll see in this interview, he has a very broad taste despite how deep he is on the punk stuff. So if you enjoy this interview, I will say that the version that's on my Patreon is almost double the length. It's ad-free. There's tons more show and tell. We go into his flyers. We take a good deep dive on his Cure collection. And it's also just the best way to help me make more of these episodes. And so this month, August 2026, I'm giving away this first press 1995 Supergrass I Should Coco. However, I also put together a Neon Taste prize pack for this episode. So I'm going to do 2 giveaways this August. At the end of the month, I'm going to draw 2 winners. And one winner is going to get that Supergrass record, and the other is going to get this prize pack of Neon Taste records. I've got 6 of Josh's releases here: Winter Graves, Jug, Negative Charge, Parisian Orgy, Bootlicker, and of course Chain Whip. I recorded this album, I played drums on this album, and Josh released it. Membership starts at $2 a month, and I even cover shipping. I'll ship these anywhere in the world. If you're watching this after August 2026, you can check out the Record Room's Instagram highlights, the story highlights, and you can see whatever I'm giving away this month. I promise you it's something cool. Okay, and with that, let's jump right in. This is Record Rooms, Josh Nickel.
I'm Josh Nickel. I run Neon Taste Records, play in Chain Whip, play in Bootlicker, and I collect primarily punk records, primarily punk 7-inches, but like a little bit of everything, as you'll probably see.
You play in more bands than just Chain Whip and Bootlicker.
What else? Oh yeah, the Suburban Pagans. You haven't heard us yet, but you will.
And why don't you mention the store?
Oh yeah, Neon Taste Records is my record store out of Calgary, with like a mail order that services mostly North America. Mostly punk records, a lot of like kind of extreme metal stuff as well.
It's so funny asking you questions because I know
all the answers.
Yeah. How did music enter your life?
I always kind of grew up with music, with like taking like piano lessons, that kind of thing when I was a kid. Vocal lessons a little bit later on, which is like perhaps surprising. Got into like punk records because my older brother and sister used to be kind of involved in like the local punk scene in Kamloops. They're a bit older than me. So I was still like pretty young and kind of like watching and learning. And then as I kind of became of age myself, I kind of ran with it in a different direction. And that's about it. I think what's record collecting though was like, that was more of a following my sister around in thrift stores and finding stuff. I remember the first like proper punk record that I found was a Forgotten Rebels in Love with the System at like a Penny Pinchers or a Valley Village for $1 or something.
I think of her when she's in the underground.
I can remember like the internet not existing, and then the internet existing and everything being like blown wide open.
Right.
You gravitated to like really heavy stuff, or like stuff that you just kind of like saw on t-shirts of like other bands or whatever. You could finally find it using like Soulseek or LimeWire or whatever the hell you were looking for. So I got into like a lot of like early California stuff. Like Tia Savall was a big favorite. Adolescents were a big favorite.
All joy for this land, some overseas. We live for the summers to serve our country.
And then like a lot of like kind of early death rock stuff I was really into too. Yeah, it moved pretty deep to like roots of like what I thought were roots of punk stuff
right
at the time.
You were checking the thank you lists to like go back, find the labels.
Yeah, a bit of that. Like on it, like one of the biggest ones for me was getting like a CD of Punkorama 2. because that had Poison ID on it. It had Rich Kids on LSD.
Never sing a love song, never owned a car, I never met a machine. Well, the youth has only started so young, listen, now it's here, but the future's up to us.
TSOL was on there. Dead Fucking Last was on there. There's like stuff that was like much more rooted in like early American punk as opposed to like what you'd expect out of like Epitaph or Fat Wreck now.
Which was also on there.
Yeah, for sure. There was like the NoFXs and Rancid and that kind of thing like that on there too. But those other ones like the Poison ID and the TSOL, that was like, oh, these are like mean songs. Like, so that sent me down like a whole other like rabbit hole with stuff, just like mean kind of rough punk and hardcore stuff that I still think is the best music on earth. I have like a larger shelf of 45s over there, but I've been kind of bringing them into this storage because I just have too many of them. So I don't know how I'm going to stash everything over there quite yet. I'm in the middle of reorganizing things. But this up here is American 70s through 70s, 80s kind of thing. So stuff like Agent Orange. In the A's, Anemic Boyfriends from Alaska. It's Angry Red Planet, which I love that record. Very underrated. Bags.
I need that bag still.
Oh man, it's a ripper. This like Bizarro one, but it was like a 14-year-old kid or something like that.
Big Boy?
Yeah.
I wanna be a big boy. I wanna rock and roll. I wanna be
Some Black Flags. There's the real one.
I can't go to work, the boss is a jerk, I ain't got time for this school.
Crucifix with this was a fun one to get. I know it's not like the biggest thing for a lot of people, but I was really happy that I could get mine with the patch still.
What is it about 45s that catches your interest to this degree?
I think if you're doing a 45 correctly, and I think this is where punk and garage shines, you're giving me the most immediate, very best thing that you're doing. You got 5 minutes each side, and if you're smart, you don't use all of it. You want it to be loud as hell, you want it to like pop off the turntable, and you want it to be your two best songs. Canada gets this wrong almost every single time. They start off with like one ripper of a track, and then they're like, oh, we gotta do our ballad now.
What band do you think you have, like, quantity-wise, the most records by?
Probably The Cure. Like LP-wise, The Cure is that. Single-wise,
It's not nothing. It's like 10 records.
That. Oh, I think it's not as big as I thought. This is my Cure 7 inches.
That's a lot.
This is where things get a little silly with having duplicates.
Just a quick reminder that the Patreon cut of this interview was almost twice as long. We go into all the detail on this Cure collection, and I'm giving away 6 Neon Taste records to one winner at the end of August. Membership starts at $2 a month, and I even cover shipping. Okay, back to it. How do you organize this room? How do you organize your place? It's not just records in this room.
This is my punk and hardcore, and I just reorganized everything, so everything's kind of a little bit suspect. This is the kettlebell that obviously you can tell that I use all the time. Like a lot of Killed by Death compilations and the Soul Jazz comps, which are cool to throw on if you just want to chill out. Like
So you separate by genre.
For LPs, it's genre typically, and then alphabetical. But for 45s, it's different. 45s, I do country and era, and I'll show you why. But over here, we have my heavy metal stuff. I have all my death metal stuff is in here. All my black metal stuff is in here. And that kind of goes from here to here. And I have like a little bit of rap and hip hop stuff, mostly Memphis things. This is all industrial and experimental and synth pop. Like my Chris and Cozy stuff, Travis Voltaire stuff.
Let's get
You know, like the Coil, some more like contemporary stuff, like the Light Asylum LP.
Like a storm, lightning struck in black and white.
And then it gets into like industrial, Throbbing Gristle stuff. And then compilations. And I also have like my kind of krautrock and more oddball sort of stuff in here too. Just stuff that I consider to be like kind of in the same sort of wheelhouse. Not necessarily even like sound wise, but just like if I'm in the mood for something that's like an experimental record, like Deep Freeze Mice album, which is like this bizarro band that is amazing.
Stay away from the coastline, with a diary all the time.
I know it's over here, but also like it's close to like my noise stuff. It's close to like my seppuku.
Your lights are flashing, everything I'm good. I'm looking at.
Like your kind of harsher stuff.
And like experimental, like stuff that's like not necessarily easy.
Yeah.
You know? Like ambient shit, like krautrock. Secret Cosmic Music of the East German Olympic Program from 72 to 83. Just like cool kind of stuff like this that like is just a little bit more different.
Yeah.
And then over here we have like, this is my rock and pop sort of stuff. So this is like, and country. Everything from like David Bowie to the Kinks, Helicopters, but also like stuff like some novelty stuff is in here too. Like I love Mrs. Miller. Like this is like my Christmas music.
This is honestly pretty hard to listen to.
It's the same thing as what I like about like inept punk stuff. It's like, it's just reckless abandon. Like you can't do Mrs. Miller unless you're like a comedy genius. You can tell like some of the songs are like done in one take. She's like coming into the songs at the wrong parts and then just like stopping and then waiting for a moment and then going back. Like it's awesome. Mm-hmm. I love that stuff. It hits me right in the fucking heart.
Just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk where the neon signs are pretty.
I know you said you primarily collect punk, but I know you don't only collect punk. We were just listening to some Reggae 45 before we started here. You have a pretty varied taste.
Well, I like music. Got into like heavy metal stuff a little more in the last like few years. You know, like new wave of British heavy metal stuff. You're like, well, I like Iron Maiden. I like all that other stuff. What else was going on? And then if you're like me, like the like more primitive, some people would call it bad. Like I said, like I want raw emotion more than anything else. I don't care how anyone plays. If they can play, that's bonus. Sometimes it's actually like a massive deterrent to me.
Right. I feel like you're a little skeptical of polish.
Like Chris Callahan, in the interview, he put it way better than I ever could. Like nailing that, like the hardcore thing, especially right now. Like every single hardcore band that's hitting like the punk scene is like perfect. And they're like, this is undeniably good.
It's dialed in.
But it's not that special to me because everybody's doing it so well.
I mean, it's kind of nice to have a lot of bands to choose from that are all doing it so well.
Yeah.
But it lacks some of the character, I think, is what Chris's point was.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's like you can't redo like the Void side of the Void split because it just doesn't exist in that same sort of like center. Those are the kind of things that's like that lightning in a bottle shit is not talent to me. It's like just this like propulsion of energy out of it, especially with hardcore. It's not the same with everything else, but like hardcore and some garage stuff and that kind of thing is always like far more special for me to hear.
It certainly lends itself to a lot of the KBD stuff that I know you chase and have a lot of. Inept teenagers playing punk is like what I know you two love.
Yeah. Like I want an absolute mess on record. My favorite stuff is like stuff where you hold it in your hand and you're like, I can't believe that these kids spent $200 to get this thing made, and fucking thank God they did, because I love finding those things. I love hearing them. It's always like such a like a fun like feather in your cap when you get to like cross it off the list you've been after for a long time.
Yeah.
You ever manifest records?
Yes.
Has it ever worked?
No.
I'll show you one that worked.
All right.
I was on tour. I went down to go play a show with Sick Thought to play guitar with them for one gig, and then I got fired. On the way back through Bellingham, I was like, I'm going to find The Accident, Kill the Bee Gees 7-inch in this record store. And I said it out loud, and I was with Papa Wipes. We were down at Total Punk Fest. And I walked in, and Ariel pointed at the glass case, and I got The Accident, Kill the Bee Gees. Coming from like small town, British Columbia, like the big scene was like Vancouver, and then just slightly bigger than that was like the Pacific Northwest scene, which is like this very storied like garage scene and stuff. And I wanted all of the, I wanted all the garage stuff, and I wanted all of the punk stuff from like that British Columbia, Washington, Oregon sort of like scene. That's like what I really, really wanted. And the last time that I saw Kill the Bee Gees was on a shelf in Vancouver for $300. And I was like, there ain't no way I'm spending $300 on a record. And I've been kicking myself for almost a decade. I manifested it. I got to manifest them for free, which is difficult. These are all for trade. Piles of things. Oh, here's a good one. Original Northwest Company on Grenadier. One of the holy grails of Canadian garage rock.
Yeah, a lot of good garage rock out of Vancouver and Pacific Northwest, right?
Yeah, this one, those Painted Ship singles.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind.
You asked me to be very good.
The latest one that I got, which I was like over the moon to finally get, was this Action 12-inch with the insert sleeve.
On Treco?
Piece. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough pull. I was with you the day you bought that, but we had split up.
Yes.
And you paid nothing for it, and I was so mad.
Yeah, I think I got it's $75, and I think they gave it to me for $60.
When I take this on the thinking of a good say, I got the money, things of respect. I said my baby's on the blink and I'm a guy.
That's a really tough pull.
Yeah,
And one of the best Canadian punk records, too.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's got like that crazy fake English accent on it. It's like, it's the real deal. Also 78. There you go.
What's the Vancouver one?
Oh, the No Exit.
No Exit, thank you.
I still have that. I actually just saw that yesterday. Punk is about stealing things. So they did it twice. Yeah, the No Exit LP is the first Vancouver punk LP. Really DIY job, as you can see. Definitely one take on everything. Famously a somewhat terrible record if you have no taste. I think this record's fantastic. I think it's an absolute mess. You can tell that they rushed absolutely everything, which is hilarious because it would have taken ages to make all of these by hand, one by one.
Yeah, you can see it's like it almost looks water damaged, but it's because it's like wheat pasted by hand.
This photo was done by Bev Davies, and then I think she also did these headshots for the Clash cover where they just like pasted their heads over top of the three. This came out in 1980. It beat the DOA, Something Better Change, by like a matter of a couple of months, I think. I think Joe is still pretty pissed about that, which I think is also just awesome because it's like, oh, DOA puts everything on the map, but they don't get to be number one. They have this absolute travesty of an LP instead. But
You're also like, and you've been doing this for a long time, like wheeling and dealing. Like, you got a store now, but I've known you to buy a lot of collections over the years as well.
Yeah, you try to, because there's a good way of getting stuff for a little cheaper than what you would normally get.
Right. You buy the whole collection, you keep like the really primo stuff, and you move the rest, right?
Yeah, primarily it was like, if I buy all of this stuff, then I can maybe keep the ones that would have cost me that amount and get it for free if I sell everything else. You know, that was kind of the mindset around it. Now I have to actually make money. I guess, yeah, see, I'm lying. I got fucking variants of shit.
Is it the stamp sleeve?
There's the stamp. This is the
rigid digits and one's rough trade, if I had
Yeah.
to guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But like that's, I mean, come on. Like other stuff, like I just like, if I see them for cheap, I always grab them. Like these Australian copies about the Edge and Straw Dogs.
Pound for pound, we'll take the shilling. It takes a man.
Do you have any rules for collecting? Like what you buy, what you don't buy, what you keep, what you sell?
I'll buy stuff if it's in bad shape, if the price is right.
You're not picky about condition?
Not particularly. Like I'll be bummed, like, and it will like stick out in my brain. Like the Neo's End All Discrimination that I have is missing the insert, which drives me fucking crazy. And it's also got a massive scratch in it, which is audible for about half of one side, which like drives me nuts. Like I don't listen to that record.
So you get it, but it stays on the want list because you're
Stays on
looking
the want list.
for an upgrade.
Yeah. So like, and like those things, they'll come. Like the Hazaba record will come as well. It's just, I've just had a hard time with those ones for whatever reason. I try to collect firsts as a rule, but like I said, like I listen to music. So it's like, I'll listen to a reissue. I'll listen to whatever's closest, honestly. To me, and I'm not an audiophile, and I kind of despise even talking about it, but to me, there is something that happens when you go from like an original version of something to like, 6 or 7 generations down, and there's bad remasters, and sometimes there's like bad pressings of things or whatever.
Sometimes the first is a bad pressing.
Totally. Like the Heartbreakers LP. That only got a good pressing like 5 years ago. I don't have that. I only have a first.
Right. Some of the records to me that come to mind for like the first pressing sounds remarkably better is when I finally landed like a first UK pressing of Damn Damn Damned.
Yeah.
When I put that on, it's just like my hair blew back. It was
Yeah.
incredible.
Oh, well, here I am. I'm just another one-night stand.
And then stuff I bought off you, like original Discharge 45s.
Yeah.
They just scream off your turntable.
They're so loud.
They're so loud.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm confusing like sounds good with sounds loud, but with Discharge, kind of the same thing. On the topic of Canadian stuff, there's also like early punk 45s that got Canadian pressings. Sex Pistols, Slaughter the Dogs.
Yes.
And some of them are like 300 copies, 500 copies. They're like
Yes.
some of the rarest versions from those bands is like the Canadian jukebox copy.
Yeah, I have all 4 of the big ones now. The UK subs, Tomorrow's Girls, 7-inch Canadian pressing. You notice trends within punk stuff. Finnish hardcore will get really popular. There'll be a bunch of like contemporary punk bands that'll be like, I'm gonna sound exactly like Turbo Cadet or Chaos or Restitute or whatever. But like other bands that I think are just like phenomenal bands just get fully panned within like certain trends of stuff. And I think we're in this weird era where like no one cares about the UK subs. And I think that's fucking crazy. Here's another Canadian supposedly promo. The thing is like, no one cares about Canada. So like, no one really knows if these were like promos or not. It might have just been like, well, we're contractually obligated to have like a Canadian pressing of these things that are coming out in the UK or whatever. So we have to do a run of them. I remember having one at Neptune Records when I used to work there. And I was like, oh, that's worth a bunch of money. I'm going to try and sell it. I'm going to see if I can get like a crazy Pistols collector to jump on it. And I advertised it on a couple like Facebook groups or whatever. And I was like, really rare. And I didn't have a copy at the time. I just couldn't afford it. The people in like the Pistols like record group just fucking tore me apart for like saying that it was a rare version. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It just is. Thought I was doing a service. They just tore me to shreds. And I was like, I do not understand these people. And I still do not understand Pistols collectors. I try to sleeve things. That doesn't always happen.
I was going to say, like, I can see that you're pretty good with using sleeves. You're a little inconsistent. What do you feel about your sleeves?
I think that the best sleeves, and people hate them, are the ones that have the seal at the top.
I'm one of those people. I don't really like those ones.
I like them for a couple reasons. If you have your records like this, when you're coming through them, you're not going to tear your top of your sleeves, especially with 45s.
Do you keep up with like new releases, new bands?
I have to, by virtue of the shop. When I opened, I didn't really want to have to pay that much attention to it. I kind of wanted to just focus on stuff that I thought was like a bit of a hole.
Like cool used rare stuff?
Cool used rare stuff, and also like more specialty new releases. You know, I want to attract like the kind of freaks and creeps and weirdos to the shop.
You're trying to radicalize the youth.
I'm trying to be a bad influence. I'm trying to be Punkorama 2 to the kids.
You've been a bad influence on me, I would say, over the years.
You're welcome.
Going on tour as much as we have, like you always take the aux, and it's always metal. And it's usually black metal, or like at least like the sort of extremes of metal. And I hated it for a long time, but you did eventually wear me down.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
You did eventually do it. It was a war of attrition, and you won.
I try to always win.
When you are checking out new bands, how are you doing it? How do you discover new stuff?
I have like friends that run really good labels. I mean, like the 3 big punk labels right now are like Iron Lung, La Vida, and Static Shock, in my opinion. Of stuff that I care about. They're doing the most like important kind of like DIY punk stuff.
I would say for anybody else who's making that list who's not you, they would probably include Neon Taste on that list.
Maybe. I don't know. My output's pretty slow. If you want to know what punk looks like in 2026, those are labels you'd want to hit up to have like a pretty like good overview of what's going on.
I agree with that.
Story Station should probably on that list too. They do lots of really good stuff. Like Criminal Damage. I love Criminal Damage. It's like oi band from Portland. There's the blue one, the black one, and then there's the blank tour press one with the red. I got no problem getting rid of 2 of them, really, like in theory. I just don't know which ones to get rid of yet. More Australian.
That's a Real Victims.
That's a Real Victims.
Holy shit.
I don't have the Television Addict, unfortunately, yet. Oh, more Australian rares.
Who's that dressed in black? Who's that in his apartment with his crazy walk? Don't let him come back.
Huh? Number 27.
And the shiver poured off her heart.
TVP, that's a good one. I do need to like upgrade that sleeve at some point. It looks like it's disintegrating.
I'm looking down on London, but there's little I can see, 'cause I'm living so high up.
You asked about the most difficult thing to get as far as the Canadian stuff goes. This is probably the most difficult one. Like maybe one of the most difficult records I think I probably own as far as being able to try and track down a copy. It's again, teenagers doing
Punk.
yeah. Gentlemen of Horror. The Sterling Death 7-inch. With like the hand-colored labels. There's an insert to this. They did 200 copies. To my knowledge, this is a rarer copy because it is the first copy, and a bunch of the first copies got left on a bus somewhere.
Like in a box on a bus?
They were told to bring them down to Vancouver to distribute them in stores, and they went missing.
They're from Kamloops?
They're from Kelowna.
Kelowna.
The Shelbyville of Kamloops.
I know that you, much like myself, are kind of a paper hound.
Yeah.
Promos, flyers, posters. Tell me about your journey with collecting paper. Josh, what do you listen to on a Sunday morning when you're drinking coffee?
David Allen Coe.
Well, I've got to take a drink to keep from shaking. Motel rooms ain't
Like some reggae comps or something like that, or like Buffalo Springfield, the Kinks.
Those of us who run to catch a moment in the sun seem to find that when we're done that we weren't supposed to run.
So you do chill out.
Oh yeah, you can't. Like I think like sometimes even just for like palate cleansing, like God, you've been on tour. Play with like 3 hardcore bands every single night. You're just like, dude, I don't fucking blow my head off.
Yeah, you see 100 hardcore bands in the span of a month.
Yeah.
What about the opposite? Friday night, you got one record to spin, pump yourself up before you go to the show or go to the bar, whatever it is.
Oh, it's got to be like something like "Kill Yourself" by the Lewd, or like some just like outrageous oi record, like "One Law for Them" by Foreskins or something like that. Something that just like grabs you by the throat.
Standing on the street waiting for a bus. Oh, Phil can try and lick up a sass. You can tell that you're doing nothing wrong. They tell you not to sing the same song.
Or like if I'm gonna go see like a metal band or something like that, I'll throw on like a Rise by Amoebix or something like that. It's like a little more punk and crusty based, but like
Gets the motor going?
yeah.
So this is how freedom feels.
Josh, I'm curious. I imagine from the store you have a lot of people coming in, maybe buying their first records, or they don't know what they're doing. They're kind of like dipping their toes into the whole thing. Maybe you've given them advice, but I'm curious if you could give us some advice for the new crop of collectors who are just starting out.
The best thing that a new collector can do is have good taste and come and talk to me, because I'll probably give you a good deal on something because I'll immediately feel a kinship. But I think like the most important thing as far as like being a new collector is just like keep your ears open and like don't pretend to know everything. I don't know the half of what's like interesting out there, and I think like you don't have to get like a new hype record. You don't have to get like a super expensive reissue of something, which is just like this current theft that's going on that drives me crazy. Hit the bargain bins, grab the $1 records, hit the $10 records, figure out what you like, what you don't like about buying records. Once you've like accumulated a crate full of records and they all cost $50 to $60, they're all brand new records. If you have like a minute of thought as to like whether that was like a good idea or not, you're gonna be bummed. If you get drawn into like wanting to go big on records, then go big on records and have fun with it. But like, yeah, that's what it should be. I never spent a ton of money on a record that I was like immediately, or like that I've regretted. You know, maybe immediately I did because it was a foolish thing to do at the time. But you know, I still got them, which means that I made it work somehow. And you don't have to spend a bunch of money to have fun collecting records at all, and you shouldn't, or you end up starting a record store.
Okay, well, Josh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I mean, you and I chat all the time, but it's good to do it again.
Yeah, for sure. Cheers, thanks, man.
Cool. Hey, welcome back. So, what'd you think? Drop a comment, let me know. For me, the best part of this interview was probably that Northwest Company single. It's on my radar, I'm well aware of it, but I've never actually seen a copy in the flesh before, so that was really cool. If you made it this far into the episode, I'd appreciate like a like, a follow, subscribe, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. But most importantly, I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.